As a marketing agency, you deal with a lot. Deadlines, targets, keeping your employees happy, and more. But sometimes you have a client that makes achieving those things difficult. A toxic client can wreak havoc on your agency's culture, productivity, reputation, and your sanity. We spoke with agency owners to uncover the signs of a toxic client so that you can identify them early on and hopefully avoid taking them on as a client in the first place. Let's dive into the 4 signs of a toxic client. If your client is frequently asking for discounts or freebies, making unreasonable demands, contacting you or your team outside of work hours, or shifting project scopes, these are all indications that your client doesn't appreciate the value of your agency. You're woken up on a Saturday morning by the constant ping of your phone. It's a client contacting you for the 5th time on a weekend about a low priority issue, like, there are no likes on my last social media post. Or maybe your client keeps moving the goalposts and making demands outside of the scope of your agency.
Some of our clients would treat us like a nurse that worked for them in the hospital and be very like, why don't you just do that for me? Well, no, I'm not gonna fix your accounting. I'm just showing you there's a problem. You're the business owner.
But just like any toxic relationship, if any of the 4 points I mentioned happen once on their own, they're probably not a toxic client. Because things happen. There's no harm in negotiating on pricing. Emergencies happen that require contacting you on the weekend, and projects can change. But if it's a pattern of behavior, then it's worth taking note. They may be trying to take advantage of you. And some clients can be very insistent on squeezing everything they possibly can from your agency, just like Mick at Heartbeat Digital found out. We've observed some toxic clients that attempted back channeling to other staff members they regarded as more friendly to their cause. They also had unrealistic expectations around costs and an unwillingness to commit for more than 2 months. A major red flag is when a client is disrespectful to you or your employees. Not only is this unprofessional, it sets a bad precedent for your employees if you let clients treat them this way. But even if your client is not outright disrespectful, if they're a constant source of negativity, their bad attitude can affect your employees. Your agency's culture suffers, leading to a negative and stressful environment, something Oliver from PWD understands very well.
With our sales team who are on the front line talking to these prospective clients, I've literally said to them, if it smells bad, walk away. Because the stress and the morale, and ultimately I have people resign. We put it into our client liaison team, and it's like throwing in a grenade because they can really burn account managers and cook them, and ultimately they end up leaving, which is cost me a hell of a lot more time and a lot more money and a lot more stress to replace that account manager with another one. And there's that discontinuation and gap of knowledge for all the other clients they were looking after.
David Metcalf figured out that clients that have a habit of constantly ignoring your advice can be a bad sign.
Sort of fairly early on in the process, this particular client started showing some warning signs, not trusting our advice, wanting to make requests or say things that we knew were technically problematic, but the client insisted on doing things the way that they wanted us to, and we knew that would lead to a bad outcome. It sort of degraded into disrespectful conversations and I got a bit toxic.
At the end of the day, you are the expert and you are hired to do a job they felt needed to be outsourced to an expert. If they're going to nitpick and question everything you do and inject their own opinion, it's only going to get worse until it eventually erodes the quality of your service. The great part about this one is it's usually fairly easy to identify these types of clients early on before you take them on as a client. Ask yourself these questions. Do they respect your advice and expert opinion early on in your meetings? Do they hold on tight to their current or old way of doing things, even though their current way of doing things hasn't worked? Do they give you overly strict parameters on how they want your work done and want to micromanage the process? Or does it feel like they want to give you some level of autonomy? If your client is constantly making late payments and making excuses month after month, take this as a warning sign. This could either be an indication of sign number 1, they don't value your time and the work you do, or this could be a sign of financial problems on their end. In either scenario, this may be a client relationship you want to rethink sooner rather than later, or you might end up completing a project for free when they won't or can't pay. Have you dealt with a toxic client before? If so, comment below letting us know what signs they displayed. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more marketing agency tips. And if you want to keep watching, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching.